Okay, so we're going to start with, first of all, who you are, state your name and your background, and what genre you write.
I'm Jessica Terry. As far as background, I don't know. I've been writing forever, so I mean, it's just what I've always loved to do. If that's what you meant.
Yeah,
Um,
when did you start?
well, I mean, I guess officially, I put my first book out in 2008. Um, but I've been writing long before that. But um, but yeah, officially as far as being published, 2008. And genres I mostly write romance fiction and romance. A little bit of drama mixed in here and there, but those are the two main ones
Okay, so
I
those are
stick
your
with.
other genres. That's actually my next question. What other genres do you write in? So you said drama. Is it like mostly scripts or is it like dramatic stories?
No, it's just dramatic stories. Like a couple of my books are kind of on the heavy side as far as content, subject matter, or whatever. So um, they're not anything romantic or you know uh, lighthearted. Um, so those are definitely on the darker side, I guess you could say. But it's only like three of them that are like that. The rest of them are, more like more, swoony
Yeah.
lovey dovey kind of stuff.
Would you call it like thrillers or maybe like mystery? I love thrillers. That's why I'm asking.
Oh no, I wouldn't call them thrillers at all. Yeah, it's nothing like that. But yeah, they're like emasculated deals with a man getting abused by his girlfriend. Um,
Oh,
Back Talk is about a teenager getting pregnant at 15, and then it kind of skips ahead to where she has a daughter who's just like her as far as the rebellion and promiscuity and all of that. And then the beginning of again is mostly about a father-daughter relationship. Excuse me, that both very stubborn, and she's dealing with her own issues from the past that he doesn't know about. And I'm trying not to give away any spoilers, but yeah. So those three other that's the kind of stuff they deal with. So
so
it's
do they come from like real life, or do you like just think of these things, or it's like maybe motivation from something?
those just what I just thought of. Thankfully, I haven't dealt with that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Not really. For the most part, generally speaking, though, most of my books do stem from something that actually happened. Some of them more than others. Some directly, like not by a long shot. Wrote that right after a breakup. And a lot of that is kind of patterned after exactly what happened. Um, my second book is really based on me and my friend's first marriages. My only
Mm.
marriage, but her first marriage. That was her idea. I write that. So that's the most, I guess, true, based on true events book that I have. Um, but yeah, all of them have something that you know is kind of stealing from real life. Art imitating life in a way.
And is that why you wanted to write romance, mostly specifically, like, especially about women? I see you like writing mostly about women and their experiences. So is that how that kind of started? You wanted to just mostly go that route, or is it like a special interest in their stories?
I mean, that's just what I enjoy. I enjoy reading that. I'm kind of a romantic, and I don't like a lot of, despite those three books I have. I tend to like a lot of dark stuff, and um, I just like
Mhm.
feel good, mushy, love it. You know, good stuff. So that's just my general preference as far as reading and writing. You know,
Got
so
it.
that's why I stick to those genres pretty much because that's just what
And
I
I
enjoy the
see,
most.
like I said, you have 19 published books. So we definitely
Mm.
want to know, what is your process like? Do you write like, how many a year do you write? Have these just built up from other stories? Like, what's your process of actually sticking to that dedication? And like, do you listen to music? What do you do?
Um, I've tried. I actually don't listen to music when I write. I've tried that, and I tend to get distracted, especially if a song I love comes on, or um, something that brings back memories. Then I start thinking about whatever memories those the song brings up. I start reminiscing, and so yeah, I don't even bother with the music. The only time I do turn on music is if I want to get in the mood for a certain scene that I'm writing, um,
Mm,
like a wedding scene or something like that. But for the most part, nah, I prefer it to be quiet. I don't mind having the TV on, but I work best in the quiet. But as far as the process, a lot of these books, like I have several more books that are already done that are just waiting their turn. So it's like, um, I get an idea, I write the notes down on it, I start working on the outline, I knock out the manuscript or first draft or whatever, and it tends to go like that. Sometimes I'm working on more than one at a time. Well,
mm,
at least I have at least I have multiple outlines going if I'm not actively writing it yet. But yeah, I mean it's just the ever going thing. I just
just push it out.
ideas come and I get them out.
And that's interesting that you say you can kind of work on several or even several outlines at a time. Because I always, it's almost like I feel like I gotta give my all to that one book. So it's like I try not to do too many at one time. But I'm the same way to where I feel like I should be writing another book. But I'm like, what if I'm cheating on this book and I don't want to, you know? I'm kind of like thinking maybe I won't give one book my all the most, but it's like
Yeah,
I get if you're that's incredible if you're able to do several at a time because that's hard, like to keep to one. And I'm like, goodness. But I do see you also copyright and you also do ghostwriting. So how does that go? And how long have you been doing that?
copywriting I've been doing for a few years. I randomly kind of fell into it. Um, I heard about it and I was like, oh, this is interesting, and it's kind of in line with stuff I was already doing. Um, and just started studying it, and I mean I do it kind of on the side now. It's a freelance thing, writing folks emails or website copy or newsletters or whatever. And I enjoy it. It's a cool thing to do. Um, and ghostwriting really, literally, that really fell into my lap because I wasn't even trying to do that. Someone approached me um a few years ago, um, asking if I wanted to um write I guess it was kind of a memoir of a local radio personality here in Atlanta. And I was like, and they was like, we'll pay you such and such. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then the next one I did again, um, guy hit me up in my DMs and Instagram. Um, I had no idea who the guy was, wasn't following him, hadn't heard of him. I don't know how he heard about me, you know, but he asked if he was a music producer, and he asked if I did ghostwrite, and I said yes. I wasn't really taking him seriously at first because it was so random, but we eventually um spoke, and he showed me he was serious. So I mean, it just went on from there. So yeah, I mean, that's how that came about. Like it wasn't anything I even really considered doing before that. Before I was approached by it, with it.
Yeah, because we are like our own artists, and it's like people they'll approach me about it, but I guess I wonder like how you ghostwrite. Like, does it take away from you doing other stuff, or you're able to like just immerse yourself into their story and do it, or how does that go? It's like a different process.
It's definitely a different process because I'm writing stuff in someone else's voice. So I have to spend time, especially
Yeah.
with people that I don't know that well. I have to spend time kind of getting to know them somewhat, and getting acclimated to them. Not to mention learning their story and learning whatever it is they want to write about. So, and oftentimes there's a deadline when I'm writing my own stuff. Not really a deadline. It might be I might say I want this done by this time, but I can change it if I want to. if I'm writing for somebody else, it is what it is. So I mean, I tend to have to put that first, um, ahead of whatever else I'm working on.
Mm,
Um, and then if there's a thing where I'm waiting on them to approve what I've already done or something like that, then I can kind of peek in on my own stuff and go back to that, in the meantime. But yeah, it's a different process, but it's still interesting. It's still, it was a fun experience. I definitely prefer writing my own stuff. I can make up my own stories. I can just do my own thing, but I still enjoyed it. Um,
yeah,
I still enjoyed it.
definitely. Yeah, and that's interesting that you say that because I have my sister-in-law who actually wanted me to help write her story. She's a local radio DJ personality. So
Mhm.
that's the one I did want to start with was kind of doing that. And I'm glad I kind of know her a little bit, but it's interesting that you said that you need to spend more time with the person so that you can hear them in their voice and stuff. So that was a
Yeah.
good tip for my first ghostwriting project, I guess, because it's like,
Yeah. Oh, you froze.
thing had to load
Oh,
again.
there you
There
go.
we go. So, but I was just thinking, do you use like maybe tape recorders and listen to them, or do you just kind of like write down what they're telling you? How does that go?
I'm old school. I just handwrite notes. Um,
His notes,
yeah.
okay.
Um, with the first one, we would meet up like at a restaurant or wherever, and he would just talk, and I ask questions and jot down stuff. And
Okay.
with the second one, most of it was over the phone. We met in person a couple times. Um, and yeah, he was just talking. I was typing stuff on my computer because it was just faster because he had so much. The first one he had actually provided me with some notes, so I wasn't starting totally from scratch. From an interview he did.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the second one it was starting from zero, so it was a lot. So yeah, I'd have him on speakerphone and I'd be in front of my laptop just typing. You know, he was telling me his life story up until
Mm.
that point. So it was a lot of information.
And that's a good method too. I didn't think about just going ahead and bring your laptop, but I was just like, I feel like people have so much to say. I was like, should I get a tape recorder? Like, how does that
Yeah.
go?
I
But
mean, and that
I
that
might,
probably would be
yeah.
good too. I didn't even think of that, but I prefer to do it. Either have notes or just type it on my laptop. Um, so I wouldn't have to have the burden of going back and listening to all that stuff. I just prefer to just type it, or jot it down.
Mm.
You
And I
know,
like that classic writing too. It's kind of like it helps me remember stuff too as well. So
yeah.
it's just I guess I'm gonna probably do both and kind of try to contemplate it. But
Mhm.
also I do see that you said you want to try your hand in scripts, which I also love and I'm interested in. So have you wrote a script and what type of scripts would you like to write in the future?
I've written some. I've written like some sitcom scripts, and I started a screenplay or two. I never finished any of those. I know I got to um, I got maybe halfway or a third of the way through. Excuse me, for those, and just didn't know how to close it out, and it was mostly just for practice. Um, but yeah, I've written what four. I want to say maybe four or five
Okay.
teleplays for like a TV show. Um, Again for practice. 'Cause I was studying formatting and all that stuff. That's just a whole different animal.
A whole different format.
Um,
Yeah, I was just about to say
mhm.
that. Well, I'm
So
still learning.
yeah, and it's again it's fun. And now when I watch TV, I'm thinking as a writer rather than just as for enjoyment. So it's cool though. I would definitely love to be a part of that some way. Not necessarily that be my main thing, but um, to have one of my books adapted or to have something I wrote be on screen. Um, that's definitely on the wish list
Definitely. And
for a
every
career.
author always wants that. Definitely. Yeah, scripts are
Hmm.
they're a different ball game, but in the future, I actually would love if I could lean more towards that. I just want to do horror script thrillers and stuff. That's why I actually I looked at the script and watched Psycho at the same time, and that was a simple way of just seeing how it went. And
Yeah.
now I'm like excited. I'm kind of trying to just get that formatting down and then see if I can finish my first, full one. To kind of play with it too, but I don't feel like I have one that I can submit just yet. So I
Hmm.
hope I get into that as well. And also, so yeah, you do a lot. You got a lot going on. So how does it work with your not procrastinating, staying motivated, and just making sure that you don't get discouraged?
Oh well, procrastination is something I battle with. Because
We all do.
I have a tendency to as much as I love to write, some days I just don't feel like it. Just to be straight up. So I mean, but once I get going, I'm good. It's making myself sit down and do it, and I can tend to be like, oh, I need to do. Let me put this laundry in here first, or let me get my workout in, or let me do this or that, and that writing gets pushed back. But I'm better about it than I used to be. And as far as the motivation, I mean, start the beginning of the book when I'm in the first few chapters. That's always the hardest for me because as I say, the characters or you know, it hasn't clicked for me yet as far as the characters being feeling real to me and the story really kind of taking shape. Most of the time that's how it is. There's been a couple books where it was smooth sailing all the way through and I didn't have that, issue and it was like I finished them like super quick. Like um like the Karma Call I wrote in like 3 weeks. Always Nevers I wrote in a month. So I mean, those are I love it when that happens.
Mhm.
But motivation is like I love to do it, but it's just like with anything. It's I'm not 100%
Mhm.
gung ho about it 24/7. So it's just like you need to get it done, just do it. And usually
Right.
once I'm sitting down and I start going, then I'm good.
That's natural, definitely. It's like I try not to get too deep into the hole because you can start off in a day of not wanting to write, the next thing you know, it's been weeks, and that's what I don't like getting into. So
Yeah.
I definitely feel that like once you get started, you got to just go ahead and keep going. But so tell us about your new book, all about Ava, and just a little synopsis of it. We're not gonna make you tell the whole thing, but what is that about?
Okay. Well, it's all because of Ava.
All because of
Um.
Ava. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's falling in love with the wrong person, somebody you have absolutely no business wanting. Um. Ava marries marries a man after only knowing him a few months, and quickly realizes that she made a mistake. Not only because she really didn't know him as well as she thought she did, but because she developed feelings for someone else. Not too long after um, you know, getting married.
Mm,
So a lot of nonsense and messiness ensues because of that and her and it's kind of a weird love triangle that happens, you know, and yeah, it's just a lot of irreparable damage is done because of
mm,
the attraction that she and the guy Mario, they're trying to fight it because they know it's wrong, but it's like they keep getting thrown together, um, and pushed together in situations, and
it's
after a
fate.
while, it's like that attraction just gets to be too much, and so they have to deal with the fallout from that. So
Sounds
a
toxic.
lot of stuff. Well, yes, it's a little hot, you know, So, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to getting that one out.
Mhm.
So it
And when
should
is
be
that
good.
release date for that one?
I'm looking at sometime next month. Hopefully, nothing happens to where I have to push that back. But if it does, that's the beauty of being indie. I can do that. But as of right now, it'll probably be late November. Um, I'm still trying to get some stuff together for it, but
Okay.
that's the date right now that I
Yeah,
plan on
yeah,
keeping. That's the
definitely.
I don't know what day in November, but yeah,
Hopefully, yeah, just let
mid to
us
late
know.
November.
We're definitely following it. The first what got me into it was She Is Me. I definitely did not
Uh,
put that book down. I remember reading that first because I always
oh,
wanted to do that, like take a vacation by
yeah,
myself and just like nobody knew me. So that's why I was like, ooh, like that's good. So like, I remember just thinking, I was like, what? I was like, so what drives me? But I saw you had like a bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna read all your other stuff too. But that one I did not put down. That was the first one. I don't even know which number book that is, but I'm gonna start from your first, probably to the last into this one because yeah. You have the way you make your characters and the way that you carry them out is good. I don't know why you say it's difficult in the beginning because the way you even set your plot and your descriptions is good too. Because that's the part I kind of get stuff where it's like you feel like you're just describing a lot of stuff in the first two chapters, but
yeah.
yeah, you really got into knowing your characters operate. So that's what I loved about your writing. But
I
tell
appreciate it.
us, no problem. I'm so happy that you came because it's just like I actually the stuff that you do, I'm trying to kind of get my hand in, and it's just like I don't know many people who do it, like copywriting and all that stuff. So yes, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna be reaching out to you even more. But tell us where we can find your stuff, your platforms, and your websites. I already kind of did an introduction, but let us know if there's anywhere else we can find your stuff.
Website jessicaterry.com, Terry. Um, and on social media, I'm at author Jessica Terry on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Admittedly, I do not post much on TikTok. I have an
I don't
account,
either.
but I just could
I
not get
don't
into
either.
it. I just could
It's for
not get into it.
entertainment purposes. I
Right.
don't think it's for us.
And
It's for
I get
entertainment
on there
purposes.
every blue moon to look at other folks' stuff. I don't even remember
Yeah,
last
that's
time
what
I
I be
posted.
watching on people's TikToks. I'm like, how do they do that? It's like so much admin that goes into it.
Right.
I'm like, oh
It's like
my
y'all. Oh my gosh, it's such a science behind making these. Yeah, I can't. But
god.
and on Twitter,
Yeah.
it's Jessica Terry on Twitter.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I think that's it. As far as
Cool.
I'm trying to think if there's something I'm forgetting. I do have a copywriting site. It's
I
it's
did see
copy
that.
it's copyjessicaterry.com. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, but yeah, pretty much everything can be accessed. My merch site, my copyright, and all that can be met through
Yes, you do have
jessicaterry.com.
merchandise. I gotta look at that too. Your merchandise
Yeah,
site. I have not checked that
that's one of
out.
my
So
one of
that's
my
one of
hoodies
them.
right
Oh my gosh, yay. I gotta put now I gotta post this because you done showed your merchandise. So yeah,
here.
y'all make sure you definitely check that out. I'm gonna buy a hoodie and then it's about to be hoodie season anyway. So
Oh yeah, you can never
yeah,
have enough hoodies. I
you
always say that.
cannot
You can never have
definitely.
enough hoodies. So
I
yeah,
definitely know that. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we were able to get it together. You were able to speak with us. I know it's been a crazy week. But thank you so much. And we are definitely going to keep following you. Make sure we purchase whatever you got going on. And I'm definitely going to
I
be sharing
appreciate
your
it.
links. And thank you
I
so much
appreciate
for
it.
coming. And you have a
Thank
great
you for
evening.
having me. You too.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.